fit the flywheel, I've fitted the rear, I'm dropping bolts everywhere, fitted the rear crankcase top seal there, and I've tightened the thing at the other end of the timing cog cover, and I've got the pulley on. So there's two locating pins. On the earlier ones I think it said there was just one, and you can I think you can put it anyway on this one. So I've set it all to top dead centre. So I'm going to get the bit on the the flywheel, which I'll bring over in a minute, to line up with this timing hole here. I'll just knock that things over. Excuse me. A bit of a disaster if I hadn't knocked the... Oh, that's not wrong. It's just the lugs that secure the bolts. Start first, will be okay. So that would get the vice grips. No. They're in an awkward kind of place, really. I did torque. No, I didn't torque them because I couldn't get in a boot. They're yay tight. I don't think they would do much damage if it came out in here, apart from the oil would come out, which would be back to square one. This is why I took the tractor to bits in the first place, was to change that seal, and discovered it was in an awful state. Mostly my fault for not looking after it. Right, let's see if we can find the... There's a bit in the crankshaft that says TDC. I've made new metal things for the crankshaft, or I've made one, but it's just to let you see. Let's see if we can line it up with those holes on the top dead centre. Right, TDC is there, so that would be, just put a mark on it where I felt bent so I could see it. Depending which serial number it is, depends what the timing is past for your pump. I think it's 26 degrees for this one. Past top dead centre. So according to that, that two holes would be out just so that. Put that there. This thing weighs a ton. may have to use language here. Right. Just trying to line up the two locating pins. Up a wee bit. Screwdriver maybe. Something thicker. No, that's my file went. Oh, maybe here, yeah. Okay. That should pull it in later. It's 5/16. Could be bigger. 3/4. Bigger. I bought a new clutch plate, but I didn't buy a new pressure plate, and I'm in two minds whether to go and order one. And although the other one did work. Pushing it onto the pins now. So that should line up, the top dead centre's lining up with the, there's a little plate underneath here. We're on top dead centre. Just so I know I've got my flywheel the right way around. Now 180 degrees out, trying to get something to run and it's throwing flames out the carburetor. Been there, done that. I've got to make two more plates, so I'll just show a bit of it. Do the rest off camera. Right, so that's the flywheel on. Well, off camera I've made new locking tabs for there, just out of a bit of tin, and it's 80 to 90 pounds per square inch for the bolts, which is around, I'll go with 115.26 kilonewtons. The start wrench is in newtons. What is that? Black B. I kill two birds with one stone here, because we should tighten up the front nut at the same time. I've got a big socket on the front flywheel nut, the front pulley nut. Just work my way around it. That's a fair bit of torque to go on. I had a look at the pressure plate and Agriline, it's about 116 quid or something, so I think I'm just going to use the one I've got and hope for the best. It's not that difficult to split the tractor anyway. So. For those who don't know, the click in the torque wrench is when it's at what you've set it to, so that'll be £85 per square inch. That's £85 per square inch is what the book recommends. So that's that. All we need to do now is fold over the locking tabs I made onto the bolts, and then there's a pilot bearing to go in here, and then we'll have the new clutch plate if I can figure out which way around it goes, and then there'll be the pressure plate to go on top of that, and we've got to centre the clutch plate with the gearbox shaft, and a good bit of wiggling probably involved, so you never know. We might get that done tomorrow. That's all I'm doing tonight. That's all for this particular bit. Oh, I'll like to torque I'll torque the front pulley once it's connected to the tractor, because I could shove it into a gear then and use the resistance from it. So where did it end up? So that's top dead centre, so it's to come back to 26 degrees, which is about there somewhere, and there's a plate down here we can take off and look for it, and then we can time the fuel pump, which has been sorted, I hope. But, just working away at it when I feel like it. That's nice and bright. I've fitted the new pilot bearing, basically just got a big old socket, fitted the size of it and gently tapped it in, or so. So to get the clutch fitted, I've got this bit of old copper pipe which I ground to sort of fit in there, and the long side goes towards the gearbox. This is just a sort of guide. You can buy proper guides, and then this is the pressure plate, which is heavy. We need about 8 hands. I'm going to get a bolt in, I'll be laughing. And the bolt fell down. Something typical. So, let's do it, I guess, once. I was watching a lady doing this on YouTube, and she had no trouble at all on camera. So it's caught a bolt anyway. So. See if we can get another one in. There's 6 bolts altogether. Now the bolts are supposed to be 25-30 seconds long, which is about 28mm. Not too bad about the clutch being out of alignment at the moment. Just get the bolts in ready. My alignment tool's not perfect, but it'd be better than it being totally out. I had to cut down bigger 5/16 bolts to bolt. Tighten the bolt up at the end. Got a bit of resistance on there. It's not going to be perfect, but a lot easier than trying to fight with it. Most of the bolts now. It's interesting. Teeth there. On the heavy duty model there's spacers to go in here. So, but I'm not sure how thick they are. Threads aren't wanting to start because they were cut threads. That's okay. I've got the bolts now, so I need to find a washer, that's all. Of course, the worst thing about a clutch is you put it together and you don't know until you run the tractor. By that time it's all bolted together. Very well either. My neighbour's dogs barking their heads off over nothing, likely. It's good. One more bolt to put in and I'll find the washer. Yeah, the torque setting for these bolts is I think it's 12 to 15 pounds per square inch. I'm going to use my old torque wrench. I think it should be okay on this one. Give it in pounds. Clutch. Just eyeballing it to try and get it as centred as I can. That's it. These fingers will start moving as I tighten it up. This is the second clutch I've fitted to this tractor, believe it or not. The original one, it was okay, but I thought, well, I'm in here anyway, I'll just put a new plate in. This is the original thrust plate. think I've got a problem. One of the fingers is an awful lot further in than the other two. So I'll torque it up and then I think you can adjust it with this. These, they're not doing anything. Oh, they're okay, they're just loose. Something wrong here. You push that in, they should be out this way, not in there. Just compress the springs. I've had a bit of an investigation and I've set the fingers all to the same depth off the back, which is about 30, I did it with the vernier, it's about 37mm, and I've measured it all and it should have some travel, so we just torque these bolts to 17 pounds per square foot, which I've already done. I'll just go around them again, which isn't much really. That's what the manual says though. So that it's got adjustable legs on it, you can move them. So now all should be round about the same. So the worst comes to worst, we'll just have to split the tractor and put in shims in there, which it might have had to start with, but I can't find them. So that's the clutch in, ready to marry it to the bell housing. So that's the next job. That's going to be fun. And I've got it pretty well lined up with my homemade bit of thick copper tube I must have got from my plumbing days somewhere. Like I say, you can't buy a proper tool, but I just ground down the end with an angle grinder and tapered it, so did the job. So our next job is marrying the two together. That'll mean a bit of jiggery pokery with these plates because these go over blocks. What I might have to do is get it as close as I can and then take off that end nut just so it holds up. Put a jack under the sump, a trolley jack, so we can move it about. And once it's together I should be able to turn the engine at the front and put it in a gear and see if it moves, and then drop the clutch and see if it doesn't move. That's the plan anyway, so I'll bring you back once we get it a bit closer together. I'd like to marry it together today. I've left the cylinder head off and all the auxiliary stuff deliberately to cut down the weight. So next bit we should be joining the dots. See you shortly.